Russell said about these first stages, was it pretty similar with you, or what was different about it for you?
For me, it was I couldn't wait to get to a stage, and they seemed like, well, when they offered it to me, it was like a gift, like a prophecy. Like these guys were being so nice, and I can't believe it, that they care about me. And they would say, when they found out, well, what do you really want? You want to be a black belt, right? They didn't say anything about the instructor yet. They just said, you want to be a black belt? And I looked at him and I thought to myself, well, if he's asking me that, I guess there's a possibility I could actually be that. And I thought, my gosh. And I said, yes. And he says, well, it costs you a lot. And you see, he knew that I was so driven. He knew I was 100% driven. And I'd only been there 2 weeks. And he told me how much it would cost financially. He said, you know how much it costs? I said, no. He said, $20,000. He said it like that. He says, $20,000. Like that. And I just, like Russell said, I was shocked. The back of my brain is like in shock, but in the front I'm going, okay. Like this, and I agreed. So right away, within 2 weeks, they got me on the treadmill to major stress disorder for the money. But at the same time, I was rationalizing it because I'm looking around at all these other guys that they're telling me are on the course too.
And was that true? Were there a lot of other guys on the course?
Yeah, and they'd point. You'd be in the office and they'd say, see everybody out there? They're on black belt course.
And what about the time for paying this off? I mean, it's a contract, right? What happens when you say, when you get accepted, what happens?
It's just exactly like you said in the Zeckman report. It was so accurate. The quicker you pay it off, the more direction you receive.
Is that a word that they use when you?
Yes. They'd always say direction.
Okay.
And they'd say from master. You get direction from master the sooner you pay off your course. And they'd have you on quarter black belt, half black belt, 3/4. Whatever they could get out of you, they'd put you on.
Oh, so the black belt was broken up into quarters.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could pay off 5,000 and you have a quarter of it.
Right. And I brought.
Well, what about the idea of achievement? I mean, how did that work?
Well, it's the physical. You're looking at these guys that are jumping around like gazelles, and and you're thinking, well, gosh, one day I'll be able to just protect myself and my family against any onslaught of a burglar or a guy on the street if he thinks he wants to push around me and my wife. Well, if anybody tries that, soon, very soon, one day, 1 month, 1 year, if I stay in this long enough, I'll be able to mush the guy's face.
So let me just ask you a practical question. Have you ever had to protect your wife from a mugger?
No.
In your life? Okay.
No.
But it's a phobia that
you're building a phobia.
You built it. Okay, it's interesting. What about you, Russell? Have you ever had to actually use it to protect someone?
I have used it several times from being attacked from behind in the neighborhoods that I've used them. The movements have come out when I needed them.
Okay.
They're pounded into you so much it becomes a reaction.
Okay. All right. And
sometimes it's not a healthy reaction because I have people. The other day at work, someone came up and just tried to sneak up behind me, and I turned around and slugged the guy at work.
Oh, you did?
I could almost get fired for that type of reaction.
Exactly. Yeah. So, can you think of other ways you could handle a mugger than
Well, I keep a lot of eye contact now when I'm walking. And just walk through action. I walk by. I always keep one hand free in case something does happen to where I'm able to block myself.
Okay. But what about protecting other people? Have you ever had to use it to protect someone else?
In high school I have.
While you were training at Chung Moo?
Yes.
Okay. So
one kid was getting jumped by 3 other kids. And I was able to handle all 3 of them.
So was that just one incident that you?
That I can think of at this time.
All right. So it's not like you use it every day.
No, it's not. Right. I don't. Yeah,
I'm just asking a practical question.
I didn't need to use it as much as I practiced
it.
And I think that I could have got by with some basic martial arts instead of having to go and learn as much as I did.
All right, so you feel like maybe it was overdone?
Yeah, I do. I think that the average person does not need to know that much to defend themselves.
All right, at this point, yeah. Okay. In other words, you weren't going to go work as a mercenary for the
No.
Middle East or something and use it?
I just wanted to learn how to defend
All right.
myself.
Okay, I see. All right. So now we're into these money. When we're talking money here, you said 20,000. How much was yours when you started black belt?
It was broken up into quarters. It was $10,000 for the black belt course.
And did you notice anything, like, let's say if somebody did have money and could bring down, 10,000 in one shot, what would happen in terms of...
They would have to pay more. They were told that the benefits from Chung Moo Quan were so strong to what you get, you have to pay more, so you have to feel it, because you're going to get back 10 times more. So if somebody comes in like a lawyer who's got more money, he's got to pay more money because it's got to balance out. He's supposed to feel it just as much as I'm supposed to feel the financial.
Okay, no pain in the pocketbook, no gain.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it.
Interesting. Yeah.
And one of the guys who told me that he was paying that much was one of Chung Moo Quan's business advisors. And so I know he made quite a bit of money, and he told me that they explained it to him that way.
Okay. There was... now, did you know much about the other schools, Kurt? Boston School, Minnesota, Chicago area, or wherever? Did they ever encourage you to check those out? Or?
Oh, no. They would discourage you. We knew the schools existed, and we were told if we were ever on vacation or something and we happened to go into another city, do not go into one of the other schools. And I had even heard that it was said that that the instructors, if they found out you were from another school, that they would beat you up. Yeah, that was highly controlled.
Yeah. What about you, Russell? Did you hear the same thing?
Yes, I did, and then I was also told, like, if I was handling a school and someone came in from another school to get their ID card and make them show where they were from, and then make them sit on the couch, and then call the higher belts because they should have known better not to come in.
Okay, now how do you see that? Why would they have that sense of isolation from other schools? What was the idea behind it?
I didn't understand it at the time, but now I understand it's more information control.
Okay.
They do teach things differently in different states. Me and Kurt have a lot of the same movements, but they're also taught differently. And I was explaining what they told me is that they teach it differently and they have different names for the forms. And that's so someone like me and Kurt couldn't come along and take what he knows and what I know and combined it. And they were more protecting the style that way.
The style, so they really protected the style.
Right.
More so, but even though there was variations in the style anyhow from region to region, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't see what their purpose was for it. If they were trying to, why are they trying to keep that information from their own members? It sounds ridiculous to me.
I think, let me see how this sounds to you and then respond to it. When you're in a pyramid-style cult organization or whatever pyramid-style organization, there's always a chain of command, and you don't want to break bonds of loyalty or else you're going to break rank. And this way, the top person, the one at the top, the general or whoever, the cult leader, can depend on who's in control of whom, and which regiment, which platoon, which soldier.
Yeah.
And knows who to talk to about anything. Now, does that make sense? That this
Yeah, I
is
was told
franchise
that,
run like
yeah.
There's also another reason they do that. And I was told that in Chicago that the instructors drove brand new cars, that they lived in nice houses, that they're all financially wealthy. And my friends in Chicago that I've talked to, they tell me that they were told the people in Minnesota live in new houses and drive new cars and make good money. They were told the same lies that I was.
I see.
And if we would have communicated with each other, we would have found out that wasn't true.
So what I'm hearing from you here, and see what both of you feel about this, that there was some sort of a goal here, not only to become a superhuman being and a wonderful citizen and a tremendous model for your children or whatever, but also that you could begin living a comfortable life. Was that a suggestion at some point?
Yeah,
somehow
it was,
the franchise would support you?
It was said that you can have physical health, but the society in the United States is ran on money. And you can be as healthy as you want, but if you don't have the money to support your family, it's not going to help you. So your physical had to match, and the amount of money you had to match, so you could live a comfortable life. Because without money, you would not be living comfortable.
Right.
And so that was, they always put that, well, you try this hard. I was told I could retire when I was 35 years old.
Well, doing what?
Pardon?
Doing what?
Being an instructor.
Oh, okay.
And
So that was the goal, to be an instructor.
Yes.
I mean, not to run your own business doing, say, selling Cadillacs or something.
No.
No.
And then I was also, there's two types of instructor. There's the main line who handles the school, and then there's the indirect instructor who works for a business. And not everybody has the qualifications to teach in a school. So the ones who can't do the physical movements could go and work for a business as an indirect instructor.
And they could own a school.
They would more Chung Moo Quan business.
Chung Moo Quan business. Okay.
I was also told that the reason you had to bring in all this large sums of money was because you had to learn what it was like first to have nothing, and to start out with something, you have to be whittled down to nothing so that you can become something else. I was told that directly, and then also that and then they'd always use the word earn. You know, you have to earn the movements in Chung Moo. And it's like Russ said, if you're a lawyer, you have to pay more, because if he pays what we pay, he doesn't earn it. And then they'd always talk about earning, and they'd say, you can't earn. These people that have all this money in this world, but they don't have Chung Moo, they don't know what earning is. So we're going to teach them. We're going to take all their money, and then we'll teach them how to earn.
Okay.
And they want to do that to everybody.
And they would. I had like a nice stereo, and every time they came over, I paid $1,300 for my stereo. And every time they came over, they just shook their head at it. Like, you still have that? And what are you doing? When I was assistant instructor, I never had anything like that before. You know, you should sell that one and bring money, move up faster that way later on. You haven't earned that. What'd you do for that?
Oh, I see. So the philosophy was that you had to sacrifice anything you didn't
right,
really earn.
I haven't earned that yet.
Okay.
My car, sell that car. What are you doing to drive a car like that? Sell it. Later on, you can have as many Trans Ams as you want. Like Kurt, I go over to his house, he still has a stereo. I said, how were you able to keep your stereo? He goes, I hit it.
Is that right, Kurt?
Yeah, that's right. We were also, I was also told that they would liken it to the culture in Korea, and they would say, well, you know, it is common for the students in Korea, for their master, you know, to give everything, you know, and that is the custom over there, and they mean literally everything, all your possessions, all your money, all your books, your whole life, give everything to that person. That is the gift that you are giving to your master. And then, now you're ready to earn. Now you're ready to start, if he'll accept you. And they would always rationalize these things, and sometimes if they felt like you were not believing the story, then they would liken it to something that happened in Asia.
Did you ever study what actually happens in Asia? I mean, in Japan, China, Korea, in terms of their martial arts training? Do you know actually what they did over there?
No, we were always told that that was the ultimate over there, and that we were kind of a backseat to the the best martial arts schools that were even Chung Moo schools were from over there, and that you know, that Master John C. Kim had a high seat in the military, and he could be president if he wanted to, but he didn't want to be a politician.
So essentially, you never verified that, and in
well,
fact,
there was no way to verify it. Okay. You know, you couldn't even verify who was the instructor of the school in the adjacent state. How are you going to verify who was in the continent across the ocean?
Yeah. So. Well, there's ways, but it's not easy.
You'd never question it. You'd always think, you know, well, they're closed-minded about telling me who is the instructor in Minnesota. Why should I ask? And you're told to ask questions, and then when you ask questions that you're not supposed to ask, then they look at you real funny and they'll stare at you, and sometimes they won't even answer your question. And then you'll just stop asking questions.
Okay.
Because that's what they want.
They'd always tell us to ask questions, But then at the same time, they'd say Chung Moo Quan goes on a need-to-know basis. You are told what you need to know. You need to know for each level.
So, okay, the instructors know what's best for you.
Right, information.